guys, and welcome back to another video. So today I actually have a sketchbook tour for you guys, and it's not any sketchbook tour, it's kind of my watercolor sketchbook, which you guys know that it's not my main sketchbook. So this is strictly pretty much only watercolors. I think there's gouache in here, but yeah, I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys this particular sketchbook because first, it's recently finished, and the fact that this sketchbook shows my progression of how I deal with watercolor, I find very interesting. So I hope you guys enjoy seeing how I handled watercolors from about a year ago until now. So yeah, let's get started. This is the Strathmore 400 series soft cover sketchbook. I'll put all the information either in a card above or in the description below. And yeah, this cover is kind of beat up at the moment because of the texture of it. Kind of takes like imprints of any like indentations or anything. And then stickers. So all these stickers are my stickers. I tend to put my own stickers on my sketchbooks and stuff because I have a lot of extras, either from like defects and stuff. But these two, like a little cat sticker and this plant sticker, were just from a previous order I made from someone else's store, and they had this on the packaging, so I just like, you know, took it off and put it on my sketchbook. So I started the sketchbook April 27, 2018, and I finished the sketchbook today, which is December 12th, 2019. You guys will be seeing this on the 14th, I believe. So yeah. So here is my old watercolor set. This is the Koi set. So I did a bunch of swatches plus I believe these two or three. A couple of these, actually I think it might be like starting from here onwards, is colors from a different set. So I think it's my Grumbacher and my M.Graham and Co, I think. So yeah, so this is my old set. I had a little doodle to test out the paper. This is cold press paper, and it's 300 GSM or 140 pounds. And then, yeah, so moving on to what I've been doing. This is kind of like my previous style. I would do line art first after sketching. So I would do the line art with a pigment liner and then do watercolors on top. As you can see, I had a lot of control trying to put values, and I was into thinner fine liners, and then sometimes I would do thicker fine liners. This one's also with a thin fine liner, and then these two were, ooh, no. Okay, so these two were attempts of getting like a softer style for my watercolor because I enjoy softer watercolor styles, so I tried it without inking. So this is just a pencil sketch, which kind of prefaces, I guess, my current style of how I approach watercolor because I don't use fine liners anymore, or like I rarely do line art before I start painting. So here I have Minghao, and this was done with ballpoint pen, which gives it a little bit of softer look compared to the fine liners. Here I have Yehana, Bowman, and Jibum. So Yehana from Priston, which sadly disbanded. This was also done with ballpoint pen, and I actually really like this. I like how I approach the hair. I think it looks really nice, and the folds in her clothing. Bowman was kind of like also an experiment, so also using a ballpoint pen, same with Jibum. But for this, like, I think I was approaching it very like simple in a way. So I tried putting clothing folds and stuff into one shape, making sure that things were like linking together. I don't know, I think I kind of abandoned my knowledge or like my patience with doing clothing folds. New G-Bum. Okay, and then, okay, this sketchbook is kind of like me experimenting with wanting to do like final illustrations in the sketchbook, but also treating it as a sketchbook where I do more of my doodles. So I have this Hoshi one. I think I've done a speed paint of this one, and then this one was inspired by Perifleur on YouTube. So here I have Minghao. So this is also what I call like my night rain print. It's really pretty. I actually really like this one. Yeah, for one that has like a style with using the fine liners, I actually do really like this one. So here is first, I guess, me learning how to draw Masaki in a way that I wanted to. Also, this was his initial design for his color. As you guys know, he isn't in this color scheme anymore. His hair is much more of a yellowy brown, more like a yellowy reddish brown, and then it's a lot lighter, as well as his sweater and stuff is more of like a teal color or like a turquoise. Masaki's a chibi, never finished it. I have a lot of blank spaces in the sketchbook, and it's kind of just, I guess, kind of like my fear of tainting the sketchbook, which is kind of, I get over it, but I also abandon a lot of things in the sketchbook. Here is the Meet the Artist. So I do this every year, just before my birthday, just to do an update, I guess. So yeah, there I am as a weird chibi. A lot of detail in the what's in my bag. Yeah, not much to say. Here, so I have Ming Hao and S Coops. So Ming Hao, I think it's like, I developed my own way of doing portraits with watercolors. So I usually sketch in a red pencil because it dissolves with the watercolors. So a lot of this is done in that way, but I was playing a lot with like concept as well as like a color palette. Not my favorite, but I do still like it in a way. This one I did for S Coops' birthday. It's one of my favorite portraits just because like the lighting is a lot different from how I usually do my portraits. I believe in this photo technically he has supposed to have like black hair. He was wearing, I think, darker clothes. I don't know. This just looks nice, I guess. I really enjoyed this one. So this is very close to when I started abandoning the style. So I did a lot more chibi work, obviously with the pen liners, like the fine liners or pigment liners. And then I tried using pencil crayons for like line art. Then another few doodles, which I actually still kind of like. I like this one and this one, as well as this one. Still really cute. I believe in the past when I did the 4-color challenge, I just found a random spot to place these swatches in. So here I have a little bit of a nose study. Not very good. The values aren't very strong. They're very, I don't know how to explain it, flat, I guess. So I have June, Jonghan. I thought when I did this one, I thought I finally understood how I wanted to do watercolors. I really liked how this one came out. And then I started doing other ones and didn't really like it because the line art didn't stand out as much as I would want. And then here we have my current set of watercolors, which is my Holbein. So this is my main set. I have much more paints that are accompanied as like the ones that I got recently from Japan, which are these ones, as well as my Grumbacher Academy and my M.Graham and Co. So yeah, I have like the codes, I have names. There used to be a portrait in here. It's really hard to see, but there's a portrait behind here and I just kind of erased it and carried on. I tried using alcohol markers in the sketchbook. Not great. It really sucks the ink out of the marker, so I don't really recommend using marker technically on alcohol markers. Don't use them on watercolor paper unless you don't mind wasting a lot of ink, because it really draws out the ink and just like soaks into the paper. Little desserts, because I was planning on doing a dessert sticker sheet. I abandoned that. So this is out of order. He was done in late October, I think, yeah, or early November, where I finally, yeah, it says right here, November 1st, when I finally learned how I wanted to do watercolors. So making sure that I could control the amount of water to paint ratio and using my usual round 8 script brush for line art and getting really soft lines. He's literally my favorite. He's also my keychain. One sec. I think I have, oops, okay. He's also on my phone. Obviously this is the digital version, but I liked it so much that I changed it and made my own phone charm for it. So yeah. Here I have another one that is using the pigment liners. So it's 97 line from 17, baking a cake. I think like, I really like doing, like, still looking at a lot of these, like especially like looking at Mingyu right here, like using the fine liners I really still like enjoy. It's very like more in tune with how I do digital, because I sketch, do line art, add color, and then add final touches. But now that I'm learning how to do digital painting more, painting like this is more up my alley, I guess, because I do line art after I've added color and shading and stuff. He's my favorite. Wonu, this one of Wonu is my favorite. This is the style that I was practicing with prior to doing this one, actually. So this was during halfway through Inktober, and I was having like a craving of wanting to do watercolors. So I have one of Wonu in blue with flowers, and then I have one at Mingyu, just kind of to complement him. And then this is a gong show, and some people said they really like it. I personally don't. I'm planning to attempt a third painting of this because I was originally gonna do a repaint of this one, but the repaint looks more derpier than this one, so maybe we'll attempt it a third time. We'll see. Let me know if you would be interested in seeing a paint this again, I guess, for this particular one. So playing with this, like this style again, obviously this is more akin to what I work like now. So here I have June, D8, and Wonu. Wonu was kind of an experiment. I didn't know how I wanted to do my anime-ish style in watercolor, so practicing that. Chibis were more straightforward. I actually really like this one of June. I'll try to insert some clips so you guys can see the little hue shifts in his clothing. So there's like a little bit of purple that, or like a kind of like a grayish bluish purple that creeps in and looks really nice. I tried doing that with Minghao, but it didn't really work. So here I have Oikawa, Wonu, who is very crooked, from the Nene Chicken advertisement, I believe. Wonu from their concert. I actually really like this one too. I think he looks really cute. And then Amasaki that I never finished. So this was testing for the Superior Cocktail Watercolor set, which is that weird travel set that comes with kind of like swiveling pans for their colors and their mixing tray. And yeah, I actually really like the watercolors that came with it. They were quite nice. So I did one of Deku, and I believe this was also a video. Also, here are some other colors that I got. I believe these are Grumbacher Academy, except for this one. So this one is Winsor & Newton Cotman, which is a Printement Rose. I believe I used this one the most. If not, it's this one for adding pinks to my skin tones. And then, let's see, I have Hoshi, and then two derpy Wonus. As you can see, I'm fighting with the style again. Not sure, or I guess like my hands is being very shaky, so not being able to get clear lines like I want. And I wanted to do these tests before I started doing like larger illustrations or like final illustrations in the sketchbook. So here I have Mingyu. So this is based off their song Holiday. And yeah, I actually did an Inktober piece like this. I took the Inktober piece, printed it out onto tracing paper, traced it onto here, and decided to try doing a painting. I think this is like a popular concept. A lot of people do this concept, and I really enjoy it. I think it's just fun to put chibis into drinks. I don't know. Weird thought. Okay, and then here I have some Haikyuu fan art. If you guys don't know, I'm a big fan of Haikyuu. So I have Kageyama and Hinata. Here I have Dogyam and Woozi, Jonghan, Seungwan, and Wonu. So this is how I initially wanted to treat this sketchbook, kind of like as a doodling sketchbook, but I don't know if it's just because I was feeling pressured that I feel like I have to do stuff like this in here. But yeah, just really simple, kind of quick, kind of messy. I I actually really like this painting. This took like an immense amount of planning, which is maybe not necessary, but I actually really like it. So I did a thumbnail sketch, a full rendered sketch in my sketchbook, and then transferred it into Paint Tool SI, rearranged it, added text and like where I wanted the glass to be, and printed it out, used the light box thing to transfer it, and then painted it on top. And I actually really like this. This actually is a print now, and yeah, it looks really nice. I do regret still the eyes kind of thing. They just look a little dead inside. I still find this eye style a little bit cuter for my watercolors. I don't know. They just look a little dead, especially Woozy. Here I have Wonu and Hoshi wearing similar outfits, which I find very cute. They're very colorful, like pink, yellow, and blue. So I decided to draw them. Wonu as a cat and Hoshi as kind of like a hamster, I guess. I'm not sure these are hamster-ish ears, but that was that. So these guys became stickers except for Woozy. So another little dump of things I thought looked cute. I'm just like browsing through my iPod and picking whatever I want to paint. So June, Woozy, the Wonu, and Wonu. These two are my favorite, to be honest. Really cute. Really clean, especially this one. You know, I feel like more I've been painting in the sketchbook, the lazier I get. This whole thing is just like a mess, so I decided to do some paintings from their home music video and making chibi versions of it. So this is really testing my patience of learning to break down color and stuff and how I wanted to paint it. I was gonna do another version down here. Also, here's my 17 washi tape. And then in here I was gonna do a larger version. Now my style has changed, so I didn't come back to do this, but maybe I can do maybe a sketchbook doodling session or a condensed version of me doing watercolor versions or digital versions of music video scenes from 17. I think it would be interesting to do. I think it's good for me to learn how to match colors. It's fun to chibify like them and their backgrounds and stuff. Here is another set of doodles, and this was also done in speed paint format, so you guys would have saw me draw, I believe, these four. So we have Hoshi, Wonu, Wonu, June, Wonu, and Wonu. So here's Hoshi, and he's jumping into like a galaxy puddle. So for this is kind of interesting. I used my Dr.PH Martin, I believe? Yes, my Dr.PH Martin Hydrus watercolors, which are like liquid watercolors, to get this really intense color down here. And then I use my gel pen to add white, and then I use a white pencil crayon to do the little glowing bits for that. But I really like using the Dr.PH Martin if I'm doing a lot of color that's bleeding into one another, or if I need to layer colors on top of each other. So I wanted to layer everything on top of yellow just to give Hoshi that glow. So yeah, Dr.PH Martin's good if you want minimal lifting. It still lifts, but a lot of minimal lifting. So it's great for layering colors with a little bit more permanency. Ooh, okay, wait. Okay, I'm hating her face a little less, but I'm not enjoying that. We're gonna cover her face again. As you can see, I'm rusty drawing females, but this was a while ago. Here's Wonu trying to get more intense shadow. Didn't really like it. He's very muddy, especially in the face. And then my first attempt at using gouache, first in the sketchbook, but using gouache overall. So this is using the Arteza gouache set. I'm not sure which set I have, but I'll put it in the description which set I have. And this is just June with a fish hat, a little thing for layering colors, so I can just test it out. But yeah, I actually really like this one. It looks still really cute. I just mostly like how the fish hat came out and his hair, to be honest. I struggle with gouache so much. You guys probably know that. So here I have Dogyam, or King, like Dogyeom as King Arthur. So yeah, a lot of proportional issues and not the cleanest application of paint, but I had a lot of fun. I actually had a lot of fun just layering up the shadows in his face to be more muted, a little bit dark, so he'd be like, at least attempt to make it look like he was backlit. Kind of ignored that for the rest. But yeah, just a fun painting. Here I have Maknae line, and so we have Singwon, Dino, and Vernon, and these were outfits and a pose from one of their performances where they covered, I guess, the leader lines change up. So yeah, I actually really like this. I'm usually terrible at putting more than one person like next to each other for a whole painting, but I really like this one. I think it just helped tackling them all together rather than like singling them out, because I actually think they look really cute. Derpy Wonu. This whole page, I think this was after anime fawn, so I was like extremely brain dead and I wanted to paint 17, but they came out extremely derpy. His mouth is like up and too close to like this side. He looks derpy. Jonghan looks the least derpiest compared to Wonu and S-Coops. I don't know. That foot though. Ugly. Okay, you know what, more than a year has been like went by in the sketchbook because look, it's another Meet the Artist. So here's me again. My bag. Here, I actually, let's see. This I really like and enjoy, like a lot of the color shifts and stuff, and just big bold shapes for clothing folds, and then just detailing in the face and then leaving everything else not rendered. Just looks more interesting. I took a break from watercolors, came back. I did paint ash at a later date. A little bit derpy. I think a lot of the things in the sketchbook are. Here's Masaki. So Masaki is obviously my OC, and you can see the color changes. So his hair is more of a milk chocolate-ish color, and he's wearing more of a turquoisey teal color. Really like this one. It's one of my favorites. Yeah, I just love Masaki, so yeah, love my son. Here we have D8 Doodles, just kind of for my fashion series that I wanted to do of him. So just 2 doodles, very derpy. Once again, I think it's mostly the eyes, as usual. But yeah, I think it's still good practice to do stuff like this. Okay, so here is Wonu. Just get back into the swing of things before I started a commission. And then same with this one of June, just trying to find a way how I want to render faces a little bit in a stylistic way, but moving a little bit away from like that weird pointed nose. I actually do go back to the weird pointed nose, I don't know why. Here's Jonghan. So this is also part of a speed paint you guys would have saw. He's a little derpy, but like derpy in a cute way. I don't, well, who knows? Here is Draw This in Your Style. I'll put the artist's name up into the screen so you guys know who this was based off of. I actually really like this. I don't draw purple hair a lot, even though I use purple and dark blues in place of black, but I've never done like strictly purple hair that often. So this was very fun, and I really like her design and stuff. Very cute. Another Draw This in Your Style. I believe this is Yumin's. This was Mochi Clouds, I believe. I'm so sorry if I'm like incorrect with your guys' usernames, but these are both from Instagram artists. So this one's of Yumin's OC. And I have a live stream of this, I believe. I did this for a live stream, yes. Okay. Okay, and then here is kind of abandoned doodles of Wonu that I initially did in place of a different video. This was the video that was supposed to go up last week, but instead I did, what video did I do last week? I did that redraw video. So yeah, this was supposed to happen for the other video, but I decided to, I just wasn't feeling like watercoloring that day. So I did these in my own time a little bit later, and I actually really like it. There's this specific paintbrush that I got in Japan that I used for the 4-color challenge, like, briefly. And that's what I used to paint, like, this whole entire 2 Wanus. And I actually really like it. I think it's really fun to use that kind of like a mop of a brush for adding, like, color differences and stuff. And really bold colors just look really nice. The way it layers with, like, such a brush that holds a lot of water. 2 derpy doodles of Koji. Just trying to figure out how I want to draw him. He's very derpy here, like extremely derpy. It's usually the eyes, but also because his head's not centered with his body, which is weird. But still trying to figure out if I like his color concept. I don't mind the primary-ish colors. The thing I did figure out that I kind of strayed away from, and I'm trying to bring it back, is that Koji's hair is supposed to be a gold color, but it has a little bit more of green undertones, like towards olive, and I tried putting that back in, so hopefully that makes it a little bit more apparent. But yeah, I had fun painting this one. I still think he looks a little derpy, but he looks cuter than that one. Last page. Oh, okay. I did this today just to finish off this page. So initially I just did what I usually do, so something similar to probably like this, except for doing only 2 layers of watercolors, and then I decided to stop and take my, which pen it was? This pen. So I think a lot of you guys know that I enjoy putting pen on top of my watercolors or my sketches afterwards. So this includes like pencil crayon. I tend to do line art as I'm working on it. For watercolors or like doodles like this, I tend to like doing inking afterwards. It just gives me a little bit more freedom. And yeah, I actually really like how this one came out, just because like the hair looks really nice. But yeah, I feel like I've been rambling too much, so I'll end the video here. Thank you very much for watching this, if you did. It's kind of me being very scatterbrained, just wanting to end this sketchbook. It's been more than a year that I had this, and I feel like it's time to move on. So unlike my other sketchbooks, I don't have a sketchbook to replace this quite yet. I'm still thinking if I want to go for a cheaper option and have less pressure, or if I should buy something similar to this again and try to attempt to do stuff that's a little bit more challenging and kind of up my level in watercolor. We'll see what happens. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next week with another video. Bye!